Yeah. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. You know, I am truly a blessed man. I am a die-hard Dallas Cowboy fan, and I love my Cowboys. I put my money where my mouth is. I actually have a couple of stones in Dallas here. This one is actually in the players' entranceway in the Tom Landry section. And what it says, let me hold it up here. Cowboy Joe Boo spreading the mojo, dedicated to Joe Boo's fans. I got that brick. Put that one up here. And my original one, when the stadium first opened, Mark and Michael Holmes, #1 Cowboy fans in Northern Virginia, beat the Skins. Yep. Kind of similar to the bricks that Sanjay Lau had the players carrying around, and we got Paul Alexander's ketchup test. But that test is kind of doesn't really matter because now they got the squeeze bottles. You don't have to worry about pounding the ketchup anymore. You just squeeze it out. These are smart ideas, different ways of thinking because there's no one correct way to do things. Jason Garrett is really smart. But sometimes you can be too smart for your britches. Growing up, I had my Uncle Lawrence. He was about 10 years old, and we were putting an addition onto the house. Uncle Lawrence didn't have higher than a 7th grade education. But when it came to building, digging the forms and figuring out the calculations, the math and everything else, and making sure those walls were plumb and straight, boom. He knew how to do it. He built a house. In fact, the addition we put on my parents' house when I was 10 years old, so that's 43 years ago, there's not a settlement crack in that place. That place is strong as it can be, built by an uneducated man. He couldn't read plans. Well, no, he could draw plans, but he couldn't read all the technical terminology. And something happened that kind of brought that back to me. I have a friend who's an engineer, just got his engineering degree, and make a long story short, ended up having a water flood upstairs, and it leaked through the ceiling and everything else. And his question was, will they be able to walk on the floor upstairs? Did the leak mess up the floor joists? Wasn't that much water, but this is a educated engineer as opposed to having street smarts. And I wonder if that's part of the problem where football, don't get me wrong, you need some complexion, you need to keep people guessing, but a lot of it is just sheer will and understanding, being down in the trenches, angles, steps, and how to beat a man. Because I look at our offensive line right now, and our offensive line, and as we look at our offense in general, because we're 29th in the NFL in offense, we have reversed where we used to be, where we used to have a great offense, top 5, top 10 offense, and a late 20s defense. Well, we got a number 3 defense right now, and the offense has regressed. And part of that you can look at, you can blame Dak, you can blame the receivers, but you also can look at the offensive line because 2014, we were known as the best offensive line in football, without a doubt. There was no doubt in the mind. They gave Tony Romo time. They opened up holes for DeMarco Murray. Even in 2015, when we didn't have a quarterback, we were still 4th in the NFL in rushing. They could still open up holes. They took Run DMC, Darren McFadden, who was only averaging 3.4 yards a carry for 3 years straight, and turned him into a 4.6 yard a carry guy, even without a passing game. 2016, you lost Doug Free and Ron Leary, but they were still pretty good. They were still opening holes. Zeke Elliott wasn't touched for about the first 3 yards. 2017, chink in the armor. Started to go downhill. 2018, and a lot of that can be Zach Martin not being in the middle. Excuse me, Travis Frederick not being in the middle. But right now, we got problems with our tackles. Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins are getting beat, and I'm looking at the film, and I'm looking at their first step is so short that they look slow off the ball. They're getting beat by speed rushes. And I'm wondering if Paul Alexander and the does work ketchup test and changing the technique has made those guys regress. Because Lyle Collins, when he was a rookie, was a lot better than where he is right now. And I'm wondering if the reason why that offensive line was so good was Bill Callahan. Because Bill Callahan was the beginning of Tyron Smith. It was the beginning of Zach Martin. It was instilling and working with those guys, and he was known as one of the best offensive linemen coaches in the NFL. And I think that through the course of time, losing him in 2014, 2015, the offensive line has been slowly regressing and going downhill. I don't think they're coached the same as they were before. You can look at the Redskins offensive line, who their biggest problem is keeping people healthy. But with the people that they are literally pulling off the street sometimes, he's turning them into a very good offensive line. And I think that that's one of those things that you look at as part of the problems of this team. Tyron Smith, some of it may be that his body is beginning to fail him. He's had the back issues for now a couple of years, and he doesn't look quite as fast. Lyle Collins, I still think, is a better guard than tackle, and he may be playing out of position. Joe Looney is learning the position. Connor Williams, man, right now, he got overwhelmed in that game. And if we are to succeed, we're going to need to get better play again from that offensive line. And hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe we need some mustard instead of ketchup. But something is not clicking like it used to with the offensive line. And if we want to be back where we want to be, we got to get that solved in a hurry. We got 13 days, 55 minutes, and 40 seconds until we take on the Tennessee Titans. We got a lot of work to do in that time. We got a new player in there, Amari Cooper, that can get some separation, hopefully can get over the top, and hopefully will add another dimension to the offense. But if we don't have time to set up a deep throw, if Dak does not have enough time, it doesn't matter if they're open downfield. Say what you want about Dak. He's got issues. He needs work. And I'm first one to admit that he needs help and better coaching. But that fumble, if he had had just one more second, if somebody could have picked up Ryan Kerrigan instead of him hitting him, that was 6. Michael Gallup was doing the double move, and he was breaking free. But unfortunately, the line didn't give enough time. Dak tried to sidestep. He fumbled the ball. The Redskins get a turnover, and the game's over. But literally, that much is the difference between winning and losing a game. And time, my friends, with the offensive line is absolutely positively key. Yep, got a lot of work to do. But I think they really do miss Bill Callahan. I'm Mark Holmes, and I got a whole bunch more work to do. But I'll see you guys